and welcome back to my channel. I am Shawn Mackin with my mindful eating program, and I am here to share with you today about finding the best program that works for you. I feel like that was a mouthful, but I'm going through this whole series of answering the public questions about mindful eating that actually reflect, like, those are things they're searching for. And I'm like, you know what? People are searching for this. So I'm really excited about this video. If you're, first of all, this is different. If you watched my videos before, you're like, what happened to your little fancy microphone? Turns out the microphone wasn't working. I'm so frustrated by this. I spent so much money on this microphone, but I had it with a totally different computer. My computer shut down. I got this little Mac Mini, and since then, the microphone hadn't been working and I didn't even know about it. I was like, man, why does the voice recording still not sound so uber professional? And it turns out it's not working. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably get another one. I'm probably going to change my system. I'll look a little bit more professional eventually, but just not right now. Because your mama can't afford that right now. But anyway, so back to this conversation about picking a program that works for you. I want to talk about 3 main points that are going to hopefully help you have some extra wisdom when it comes to looking at different content online when it comes to weight loss programs. Because I'm not going to just tell you, don't do this program, don't do that program, don't do this program, right? You know, I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in black and white saying this person's the devil. I'm going to tell you these different plans. I did not find success through it, but I do think from my heart and the people who follow me, I want you to find what's going to give you your life back. Okay. And I say this because I had searched and searched and searched. And this morning even, we watched a movie it was called Doctor Strange, and I'm sure you've probably heard of it. It's like a super multi-million-dollar movie on Disney, and it's a Marvel, right? It's a superhero movie. But what I love is the journey that Doctor Strange was on. And, you know, I think of I can relate with Doctor Strange with the weight loss struggle, except he didn't have a weight loss struggle, right? He had a struggle where he couldn't use his hands. They continually shook because he got into a serious car accident and lost function with his nerves. And he did surgery after surgery. He did research after research. He did questionable, risky surgeries to get his hands back, and he couldn't. And he even says, when Western medicine failed me, I went to the East. And he had found like this thing, and then the person he's talking to is like, oh, so you joined a cult. And he's like, it's not a cult. And she's like, well, sounds like a cult. It's not a cult. That's what people say when they're in a cult. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so true. When you find spiritual awakening, right? When we spiritually awaken from, you know, what's that word I'm thinking? From our pessimism, from being a pessimist for so long, or from being so stubborn in your beliefs towards one thing in one direction, and when you find truth somewhere else, it's freedom. It is freedom, and I've experienced it on more than just weight loss. I also experienced it in my faith. And what I think is so interesting about Doctor Strange, and when I connect it to weight loss, and I will in a second, is that we are constantly searching. And our body wants to be normal. Our body wants to be healed. And while we only think of it from the physical ailment, we only can see it from the physical aspect of it. You know, for Doctor Strange, it was his hands. It was all about his hands. For me, it was all about finding weight loss. And it was all about achieving that weight loss goal. But when it comes to really finding the program that you want and what you're looking for, you know, they're going to use these words that are going to look good, but it's really just a facade. And the first thing that's a facade is the words, lose weight quick. Lose weight quick. They talk about it all the time. And I'm sure you've seen that exact terminology. I'm sure if you type in Google, lose weight, and then they give you options of what you're trying to type and different things that they have information for, quick next to lose weight is going to be one of the top ones. Because people don't want to just lose weight quick. They want to lose weight for good. That's the reality, right? But the weight loss industry can't promise you that. They can't promise you to lose weight for good. They only can promise you to lose weight quick, especially on the different kind of plan. And I know you've studied the ketos. I know you've studied the low carb plans. I don't even need to go into it about it. I can even tell you about intermittent fasting, same deal. These things are so popular in practice because, the next day you're going to lose 3 pounds right away, right? Next week, maybe another 2 pounds. And then week 3, maybe another couple pounds. But then, dead stop. And it stops. And you lose that motivation because you're not seeing the result. And that's the only reason why you're doing the plan in the first place. And when it comes to finding the program that works for you, those plans that promise you to lose weight quick are the ones you want to avoid. Because you don't want to lose weight quick. You want to lose weight for good. And I just want to give you this kind of wisdom when it comes to looking for different advice out there. Now, does weight loss have to be excruciating slow? No, it doesn't. But even in our journey in weight loss, weight will come off when weight wants to come off. I started my weight loss journey at 240 pounds, okay? That was the tip of my pregnancy. I started my pregnancy at 213 pounds, and I was like, look, I didn't want to gain another 45 pounds like I did with my son. So that's when I discovered mindful eating. And I wasn't even really trying to find mindful eating. I'm just really grateful I did find it because I was over dieting. But when I was at 240 and I gave birth to my daughter, I was at 220 within a week. Okay? And I was at 200 within, I want to say, about 3 or 4 months. And I lost weight quick. That's fast weight loss, right? And then I got to 200. When I was at 200, I circled around 200 for about another month. And then I was at 190s, in the 190s for about another month and a half. So now it's slowing down. And now I'm in the low 180s. And man, my body's being stubborn in the 80s. Like, I've hit 174, and then I got up 6 pounds, and then I've gone down a little bit, and now I'm only down, so I'm not at 174, but I'm at like 179, 180. And I'm like, holy cow, like my body is seriously struggling in the 180s. And so then I started looking at some old journals that I had. And I've tried losing weight so many times. Every journal talks about weight loss. Every single journal I have dozens and dozens of journals. That's why blogging is so easy for me. Vlogging is even easy for me too, because I'm taking everything that I would just write down and I'm just saying it out loud. But it took me, I was always in the 180s. I've always been here. My entire 20s was in this weight range. So when I saw that reality, I was like, you know what? This is going to take me a while. And I'm okay with that. Because I'm not trying to just get to 140 as fast as I can. I'm trying to live my life and love living my life. And so there's times in our weight loss that are going to be fast. There are going to be times where it's awesome and you're moving at a really great pace, and then there's going to be times where it just stops, and that's okay, because that's your body. Your body is going through these new changes, and your body isn't changing metabolically, your body is changing physically. And when I first hit 180, I was balancing out around 185 normally, and then on a really great day I was like at 180, and I was a size 12, and I couldn't hit to the size 10, or like if I put on a pair of size 10s, I was really it was really tight. But now that I'm like on a high day is 180, I feel perfect in a size 10, right? Does that make sense? So that's my point, is like our body is changing in ways that we can't even imagine. And so don't worry about if weight loss is quick or not. The second thing that I blogged it too, so I'm trying to think about my points, so is to also follow the plans that are talking about changing your thoughts, not your habits and not your actions. And the reason why is because if you want permanent change in your diet, it's going to require you to change your thoughts. It's going to require you to change your goals and what your goals are only around. Are your goals just about getting to a certain weight? And if they are, you're not going to make it. It's just you're not. Or is your goal about you trying to become the person you've always dreamt of being, which is you want to be that completely there mom. You want to be that amazing employee. What is your goal? Where are you trying to make it to? I'm going to grab my daughter real quick because she's playing, and I don't know what she's playing with, and that makes me a little bit nervous when you have an infant. Wow. Let's take this with us. Okay, we're good now. And I'm back. Okay, so she was playing with a big block, like a baby toy, but it made like this papery sound, and it was freaking me out because I was like, she better not be putting plastic in her mouth. Like, so it was just freaking me out. But she's okay. We're all good. I was like, I didn't remember there being like plastic in there, so I knew that it was okay, but it was just making me nervous, and I want to be able to focus on you. So anyway, back to this idea of, losing weight and focusing about who you're trying to be. That is what you're looking for. And if you find a program that is harping on, let's first really hone in on your goals and focus on who you're trying to be, not just why you want to lose weight, that's the sign that's a good one. Because they're going to help change your goals are not just about how you look physically. And again, about the whole action things, anybody can say like, oh yeah, we're going to get you to do this and this and this and that, and you'll be good to go. You're going to lose that weight and you'll be fine. But then the second that you're away from that person, weight comes back on. And I think it's a cheap way. I can't think of the phrase. Cop's way out? No, I'm just going to say cheap. It's a cheap way out to say, oh yeah, I can help people lose weight. Yeah, so when you're working with them, they lose weight and that's it. But then the second that they're away from you and you're no longer working with them, they gain the weight back. I went through nutritional counseling when I was pregnant. I knew I was not going to become 140 pounds when I was pregnant. My goal was to only gain 20 pounds. But the things that I learned through this program, through mindful eating, that made me lose a whole lot more weight. I don't even know where I'm at, like 60 pounds now, around 60 pounds. I lost around 60 pounds since working with her. I stopped working with my coach in June. We hadn't met. We stopped meeting in June, like it was 6 months. June was the cutoff. That was when I was done. And I gave birth in July. So I was a little nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, did I just spend all this money and I'm not going to lose the weight because now I'm not with her? No, I lost even more than I could have imagined. But then also it was like my time with her led me through this journey of continued self-exploration, because I learned that awareness. I continually learn awareness through anything else. And that's another huge factor, is the program that you're thinking about joining. What is their standard on helping you become aware of your body? Become aware of your hunger, become aware of your satiety cues, become aware of the foods the food choices and how they feel in your body. That is a huge proponent in being a part of a great program that's going to actually be worth the money, that's not associated with the diet industry. Anyway, so those are my little tips there for you. Think if there's another one that I missed, but I think I talked about the last two kind of together in conjunction, because the third one was about choosing somebody who focuses on who you are rather than about just why you want to lose weight and who you're trying to become. Like I've had a lot of trauma in the last couple years, aside from just the pandemic. Since the pandemic, I have lost 3 family members. 2 were very unexpected, and then the other one was my grandpa. He was days away from turning 100. And, I mourned for each of those people individually and differently. And when I think about, one of them, I didn't know mindful eating, and I had actually ended up gaining 20 pounds after their death. But then, oh my gosh, my husband is texting me constantly, and because I have a Mac, it pops up. But anyway, so I remember when I lost my cousin, I was not doing mindful eating and I gained 20 pounds. And then when I lost my other cousin, I had already lost 40 pounds or I had already lost 50 pounds. No, 40 pounds, yeah. And now I'm down 60. So I lost 20 the other direction with mindful eating, because when you're mindfully eating, you're then also learning how to mindfully live and make decisions that serve you overall, but then also it changes your perspective when it comes to life and death. It changes how you want to mourn, because it's about who I'm trying to become at the end of the day, and not just about how I want to look, because losing weight is not about just how you want to look. There's other things that you're trying to do in your life, and you feel like you can't because this is a huge hurdle you want to conquer first. Anyway, let me know what you think. That's my video for you today on which kind of programs you want to be looking for. So good luck on your journey. If you're like, oh, but I want to go with you want to check out my my thing, grab my guide. Right now, grab my guide, my free guide into mindful eating. That will help you lose weight. I'm at this point in life where I don't have a nanny. So without having a nanny, I personally actually can't take clients. So I'm just giving away great information that I hope will help you lose that weight. And I am working on making an app where that app is all about mindful eating and has steps and stuff, or a course. And so that's how I'll work in the future. But as of right now, I'm just YouTubing it up, guys. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll definitely respond, and I look forward to seeing you later.